Hi, this is Dr. Caruso, and in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to insert a rollover caption. A rollover caption and a rollover image are two functions that behave the same way. So once you know how to do one, you will know how to do the other. So I've taken an existing presentation and I've added a new slide. I've titled the slide Effective Communication with a subtitle, Communication is a Two-Way Street. I've added slide notes so I know exactly what to say when I narrate this slide. So I'm going to go ahead and narrate the slide. Workplace communication is very important to companies because it allows companies to be productive and operate effectively. Employees can experience an increase in morale, productivity, and commitment if they are able to communicate up and down the communication chain in an organization. Roll your mouse over the image to learn about listening to your employees to encourage effective communication. I'm going to go ahead and save that. And I do want to extend the display time. And I'm just going to correct something here. I'm going to close this. So as you can see, I've given the learners directions to roll their mouse over the image. I don't yet have an image here, but I've already done my research and I know which image I want to insert. So I'm going to import that one now. And now I'm going to insert the rollover caption. So I'm going to go to Insert, Standard Objects, and I'm going to choose Rollover Caption. When I do that, two things appear. There's an actual rollover image that can be resized and moved around, and there is a rollover caption. So the first thing you need to do is place the rollover area and resize it to the exact size of the image. And then you have to say something about the image. So I know what I'm going to say and I'm going to type it in here. Resize the text box so that everything shows. And I don't need this text box anymore, so I'm going to get rid of that so that I only have my rollover text that will appear when the learner rolls over the image. Okay, now let's see how all of this is working. I'm going to go to Preview. Workplace communication is very important to companies because it allows companies to be productive and operate effectively. Employees can experience an increase in morale, productivity, and commitment if they are able to communicate up and down the communication chain in an organization. Roll your mouse over the image to learn about listening to your employees to encourage effective communication. So when I do that as instructed, the text pops up and gives more information about communication. So this way it is more interactive as an e-learning training. The next thing I want to do, let's say that I wanted the narration to come in first and then I wanted the image to appear. So I didn't want my learners to jump ahead and start rolling their mouse over the image. I wanted to first let them hear a little bit about communication, and then the image should appear. And after the image appears, then the learners would then be allowed to roll over the image to learn more. So let's take a look at how we would time these different events to happen. To do that, I'm going to go into the timeline feature. Once in there, you can see the audio that has been recorded, and you can see each element that is on the slide. As I click on these elements, they are highlighted below. Here is the image, and if I want the image to appear after the narration starts, I can go ahead and adjust the timeline thus to maybe about after 10 seconds of me speaking. Let's go ahead and see how that looks if we preview.
Workplace communication is very important to companies because it allows companies to be productive and operate.
As you can see, nothing happens yet. I'm not able to roll over and get any message yet.
Effectively. Employees can experience an increase in morale, productivity, and commitment if they are able to communicate up and down the communication chain in an organization.
Okay, so it allowed me to mouse over about midpoint after I had introduced the topic of a two-way street. Communication as being a two-way street. Let's see if we can do something a little bit further. As you can see from the timeline and the timing that is indicated at the right, the rollover image is appearing after 12 seconds. If I want the image to appear at the same time as the rollover function, I need to move the rollover area, click onto the image, and drag it so that it is exactly the same timing as the rollover display. So in other words, the image will not appear initially until about halfway through the audio. So let's see how that works.
Workplace communication is very important to companies because it allows companies to be productive and operate effectively. Employees can experience an increase in morale, productivity, and commitment if they are able to communicate up and down the communication chain in an organization. Roll your mouse over the image to learn about listening to your employees to encourage effective communication.
Okay, so that's about right. I'm going to move it over just a little bit more because it comes in a bit too early. And if I move the rollover area away a bit and click on here, I can see a few more things that I might want to do with this picture. I can have it fade in. And let me move this back. And that is how you insert a rollover caption or a rollover image. I hope you have found this tutorial helpful. See you soon.